ASUCD means a lot to UC Davis, impacting student lives through services, media, social events, and advocacy. It's responsible for a lot of the parts of our daily lives that we take for granted, but that comes with a big cost. ASUCD's budget goes towards more than 1,000 student wages, student services, and all operational costs required to keep the association running efficiently. This all adds up to more than $15 million annually. The funds to cover it come from a variety of sources, including student fees, revenue from commercial units, and sponsorships and grants. As students, we only pay $8 a quarter toward the base fee to run ASUCD, but that barely covers 6% of the expenditure. So why is that? Well, it's because the ASUCD base fee hasn't changed since 1979, while all prices around us did. That means students today are paying the same amount as these kids.
There's no better way to travel than above the traffic on a Unitrans bus.
To give you a better sense of what this means, back then, gas was only 86 cents a gallon, and you could get a fully furnished 2-bedroom apartment in Davis for less than $200 a month. And the cost of living, along with minimum wage, is only going up. So if the base fee doesn't increase, ASUCD will be forced to make major cuts to services, the price of goods and services would skyrocket, and students would lose their jobs only to be replaced by fewer full-time staff. So how do we prevent this? That's where the 2020 Basic Needs and Services Fee Referendum comes in. ASUCD is proposing a $26 increase to the quarterly base, which means you would only be paying about 28 cents per day. And to help spread the cost over generations of Aggies, the referendum proposes an $8 increase every year for the next 10 years. With this increase, we would still have one of the lowest annual base fees of all the UCs, while still providing the most services. Through this referendum, ASUCD wants to maintain and expand all operations, provide more jobs for undergrads, increase funding for student organizations, and so much more. Along with all these improvements, there will be a 25% return to student financial aid. And hey, we get it. That's a lot to think about. But it's important to understand that this decision will affect students for decades to come. Previous generations of Aggies stepped up to make decisions that brought essential entities such as the ARC and the SEC. Now it's up to you to make a change by voting at elections.ucdavis.edu at the dates below. Whether you're for or against it, remember none of this is even considered if the minimum voter turnout isn't reached. So go out and vote.